when you're lacking inspiration, it's not that just, business sucks all of a sudden. It's because you've changed the story and the change of the journey, and you've changed where you tie your sense of self-worth to. And it's about detaching it from day-to-day delivery and reattaching it to vision, North Star, and the journey, not the outcome. Today, I want to talk to you about what to do when you're lacking inspiration. And so what tends to happen is we go through these peaks and troughs in business, and we can go through periods of intense motivation. You're inspired, you're motivated, you've got plenty of stuff on. And then we can go through periods of we feel a bit lackluster, like we're lacking motivation, we're lacking the drive, and like, for want of a better term, we just can't be stuffed. What I want to talk to you about is some possible reasons for this, and then how to go about doing things a bit differently so that you can maintain that momentum and that enthusiasm and that motivation and that inspiration, the whole way through your business journey. And so what tend to happen, and this happens in business phases too, like I see it a lot with business owners who are very used to being in the day-to-day. And for example, in the day-to-day, you're doing a whole bunch of work, you've got deadlines, deliverables, that sort of stuff, and you kind of know how your weeks and your days and weeks are going to play out in terms of what you need to do. When you turn up to the office, you need to do this project, you need to do that project, you need to do this project, you need to do that project. And what happens is then, as business owners grow their businesses and they bring on team and they do amazing work, and this is what I help with my clients with all the time, is actually bringing on team and making yourself redundant from a lot of the day-to-day things in your business, so that projects and deliverables and getting stuff out the door doesn't necessarily rely on you as the business owner. And so what can happen though is, if you're the type of person that's very used to being, or type of business owner that's very used to being in the day-to-day, your workload and your days and your weeks are very kind of known, in terms of where you're going, what projects are due. You've got this due on Friday, and that's due next Wednesday, and that's due the Friday after. And you don't really have to think too far beyond that. And when we're so conditioned to have our sense of self-worth placed on us as business owners in delivery, doing chargeable work, getting stuff out the door, talking to clients meetings, all those sorts of things. And when our sense of self-worth is placed on delivery and doing, and we're in the day-to-day of our business, we're in the weeds, we've got, everything relies on us, we actually kind of feel good about ourselves, because we're like, I'm so busy, I've got so much stuff going on, I've got all these projects due. And we feel good about ourselves because our sense of self-worth is tied to project delivery and getting stuff done. And then what happens is you meet a guy like me, and I work with you, and I help build you out of the day-to-day and help you have more time in your days and your weeks to focus on strategy, focus on vision, to focus on, the direction of the business. You've got more time in your days, and you're actually less relied upon for project work and delivery and getting stuff out the door. And because your sense of self-worth is tied to all those things that you're now working with someone like me to help free you up from, what happens is, when you get to the office on a Monday, or you start the week, or you start the day, and you're like, I actually don't really have anything pressing that's due. It's actually all on me. Like, I've got strategy stuff to think about. I've got mergers and acquisitions opportunities to kind of look at. I've got to hire a general manager or an operations manager, or, those sorts of things. There's less pressure on you, apart from the pressure that you place on yourself and those time frames. But you don't have that urgency, and that, all these things are due this week and due next week and that sort of thing. And if you're not aware of it, and your sense of self-worth is placed on you being busy all the time, when you've got your business to that sweet spot of having free time in your week, you actually lose motivation. You feel a bit like uninspired, because you don't know what to do with your time. and that causes confusion. And so what happens is you move from, and this is the journey of the business owner, like you move from a technician business owner, as I call it, to more of an entrepreneurial business owner, where technician is you're in the business all the time, you're doing the day to day, you're in the grind, you're in the hustle, you're just getting stuff done, and it feels good. That's where self-worth is placed. But as you grow your business and you move into a more entrepreneurial role, you don't have a place yet for your self-worth. And you move from what I call the known, which is you know how your days and your weeks and your months are going to play out because you're doing project work and you've got all these deliverables and deadlines. You move from the known to the unknown, which is I've got a great team. They're working well. We're winning work. The team are delivering work. Maybe I'm involved in some project sign-offs or some high-level stuff. But like me as a business owner, my days and weeks ahead are more like strategic thinking and high-level business development relationships and maybe some joint venture stuff and like where am I taking the business? And it's all moving from the known to the unknown. And you look at these different strategies in front of you, you don't know how that's going to come off. You don't know if you invest the next 6 months in this strategic planning document or this strategy or initiative, is it going to pay off? You don't know. Is that joint venture relationship that you spend the next 9 months developing and honing, will that come to anything? You don't know. And so we move from this place of known in terms of, I know this thing's due next Friday, and I know if I do these 9 steps, I'll get this outcome on this project. Like that's your comfort zone. That's your safety space. That's where you feel good about yourself. But as you move into the entrepreneurial business owner, which is more strategy, vision, and direction, you're moving into the unknown, which is I don't know how these things are going to come off. And I don't know that if I invest time, effort, and energy in these 5 areas, will that move my business at all? And so our self-worth or sense of self gets questioned and comes into question. And so that's where the confusion, that's where we lack inspiration, that's where we lack motivation, because we're not sure that our time, effort, and energy is going to be well spent or come off or yield dividends and results. And so we get flat, we get tired, we get uninspired. And what definitely starts to happen, if you're not aware of it, is you start to creep back into and start tinkering with the day-to-day stuff that's working well, because your sense of self-worth, remember, is tied to that, as opposed to, and this is what we're going to talk about next, as opposed to being in the business owner role. And so you go, this strategic thinking stuff's too hard. I don't know where it's going. It's making me feel a bit flat, motivated, unmotivated, uninspired. But what does make me feel good is, or when I feel good about myself, is project work. So I'm just going to go and like maybe take a couple of projects back off the team, or I'm going to start to tinker in how the team are delivering, or maybe I'll just come along to a few team meetings and just see how they're going. And you start to slowly but surely undo the good work that you've done in leveraging yourself out of the day-to-day delivery. You weasel your way back in because of this unconscious desire to feel good about yourself and feel needed and feel validated and all those sorts of things. And so the trick here is to recognize that's happening and then retie or reattach and do the work to reattach your sense of self-worth to not the outcome, but the journey. So not the outcome, but the journey. So you've done great work in terms of leveraging the team and getting that working, and the projects are humming. And, yes, like I said, sometimes there's a bit of involvement required from you. But we now need to work on tying your self-worth to, I feel good about myself when I'm in strategic thinking mode, when I am moving the business forward in terms of partnerships and joint ventures and strategic alliances and JVs and client connection and relationships and stuff. I feel good about myself when or if, not the outcome, but when you're doing those activities. So you tie your sense of self-worth to the journey, not the outcome. And that's how you keep yourself motivated, because you wake up every day and it's like, great, I don't have to do project work. That stuff's sorted. I've done the hard yards and getting that, that humming in the business. I'm excited. I get to focus on strategy and joint ventures and like all the stuff that I've talked about. And that's what gets you motivated. That's what gets you inspired, is the next step. Reconnect to your business vision, your North Star, reconnect to all of that, and realize that you've actually done amazing work in getting your business to the point where you are now truly the captain of your ship. and the team are humming and performing well, and you can now focus on steering that ship through your guidance and leadership to, truly ramp things up towards your North Star in the business. And so that's the journey that we kind of go through as business owners. When you're lacking inspiration, it's not that just, business sucks all of a sudden. It's because you've changed the story and the change of the journey, and you've changed where you tie your sense of self-worth to. And it's about detaching it from day-to-day delivery and reattaching it to vision, North Star, and the journey, not the outcome. So I hope that helps, team. That's what to do as a business owner when you're going through the different phases of the business journey, and what to do when you're lacking inspiration. So we've got heaps of free resources if you want to keep doing this journey on your own. The YouTube channel, the podcast, the website, heaps of free resources to help you keep building a business on your own. But if you'd like some help from an amazing group of people, all business owners, all working together towards the same outcome of building their businesses together, I'd love to invite you to join our boardroom coaching program, which is designed to help you grow your business to that next level, whether it's to 1 million, to 3 million, to 5, to 10, or to 15, help you get your business to that next level. So if that's you and you'd like to have a chat about our boardroom program, just comment the word boardroom below this video, and let's have a chat about how I can help you build your business faster.